Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Lexus Virtual Classroom. My name is Melissa O'Connell, and I'm your Lexus Technology Specialist. And guess what? It's here, the all-new GX550. Today, we're going to do a brief introduction, my version of brief, so it will be a little bit more of a deep dive, but not a total deep dive because that is coming next. The all-new GX, true to its heritage, is a body-on-frame luxury utility vehicle. There are a variety of different towing capacities depending on which package you have. The recessed hood is designed to improve driver visibility, but the sides of the hood bulge up, and that's done intentionally to make sure to give you a sense of the width of the vehicle, especially if you are off-roading. It has a strong, square, aggressive stance, and that continues all the way around to the rear of the GX with the new signature unified L-shaped light bar. The engineers have designed a thicker and more bold headlight for better visibility, and the Lexus spindle body concept integrates from the grille straight up into the hood line. Now you will notice that the grille is placed higher up, and that's to avoid damage if you are off-roading. Every detail is intentional, including the shape of the slats on the front and even the back of the grille. And they also integrate grille shutters, and all of those components are used to help cooling and aerodynamics. Under the hood, we did say goodbye to the V8, but we do have an incredibly smooth 3.4-liter twin-turbo V6 with 349 horsepower and 479 pound-feet of torque. So all of the power that you are accustomed to in your GX and more. This is a true dual-range, full-time four-wheel drive vehicle. And on the Overtrail versions, you have a lot of off-road capabilities to enhance that low four-wheel drive mode. The fuel door is located on the driver's side, and it opens with a button just inside, down on the lower left panel. Lift up, it pops the door open for us. It is very quiet. When you unscrew the cap, you do have a nice little storage spot right there. And make sure to note, it does say premium fuel required. Premium unleaded is what we use on all of our turbo vehicles, just to get that performance we anticipate. Close it up, and you're all set. When you look at the front and rear bumper, and you see the round sonar sensors, that does let you know that you do have parking assist, or the intuitive park assist system on the GX. Guess what? It's standard equipment, and it does include the auto braking feature. Now, when we take a look inside, I want to show you the button that can let you quickly and easily turn off auto braking, because sometimes you may be in a situation where maybe you're connecting a trailer or you're pulling into a tight garage. You want those parking sensors to give you that alert, but you don't necessarily want the auto braking to engage. So we'll take a look at that in just a moment. The new power back door on the GX does lift up to open rather than swing out. It is standard to have a power back door. There is an optional kick sensor, which if you watch my videos, you know that is my all-time favorite way to open the power back door. On the GX, it's located just to the right of the tow hitch. So if you have a big, large cover back here covering that tow mount, it's just covering that connection, so it looks really nice and clean, but you still have a kick sensor. It's just not in the middle, it's just to the right. Let me show you how that works. We are going to kick just to the right of the tow mount. Keep in mind, you do have to have your key on your person, and you want to step out of the way once the beep starts to let you know that the sensor has seen your key and the door is about to move. So just kick. You'll hear the beep, step back out of the way, so it knows that it's about to operate, and it's just trying to give you a little bit of a warning about that. Now we can do the same thing to kick to close. Kick, wait for those beeps, step back, and then it'll close. If you kick to close, make sure to note that the GX is not going to lock, so you can either press the lock button on your key fob, lock from one of your doors, you can even lock from your Lexus app, or right underneath, you can lock from the small rubber touchpad underneath your Lexus logo. Let's take a look at some of the other buttons and features that you have available on the power back door. So you can use this button to close. You can also use this button to adjust the height opening of the door. You can press again to stop it at the height that you prefer, push and hold. When you have 4 beeps, you know that this new position has been saved. If you'd like to reset to the maximum height, push and hold. Listen for the first 4. Now we want 2 more beeps. There they are, 6 beeps, it's been reset. So now it's going to open to the max possible height. So just remember that that height is customizable, very helpful if you're parking inside your garage. Now the button on the right is programmable. This is a close and lock button. So depending on how your close and lock button is programmed, it will either close right away or it will give you 30 seconds of a standby mode and you have to walk away for the door to close and lock. If you don't have that and you want it, don't worry, your technician at your Lexus dealership can customize it for you. So just know you can have it programmed either way. Just push the button to find out how it's programmed now. The default usually is for it to close right away. So let's check it out. That's how this one's set up. I'm going to just push, and now I need to get out of the way for the door to close, and then it's going to lock the GX. And since we do have auto folding mirrors, we can see the mirrors have folded in and the GX is locked. Here's an example of the other type of operation. Press the button. It's going to keep beeping. I have 30 seconds to gather my things and walk away. We call it the walk away, close and lock version because you actually have to walk away before the door will close. And if you stay underneath the door beyond the 30-second standby period, the system will cancel the operation, so you would just need to press the button again. Another great carryover that was really popular on the previous models of the GX is the pop-open windows. We do still have that. Some things to keep in mind: when the vehicle is locked, you have to have your key with you in order to open this window. Just press, you'll hear a pop, and then you will manually lift open. So you can lift from this edge. There's also a little handle here. Just lift up, and you have quick and easy access to the rear of the GX. A couple of important details in the back: first aid kit and the mounting bracket for your front license plate. If you live in a state that requires a front plate, make sure to hold on to this, and your service team at your Lexus dealership will install it for you when your license plates come in. When you open up the back of the GX, you might see a cargo net that stows away in its own leather pouch, and depending on how you're using the vehicle, you may want to use it. So it just unzips, and then you can attach it up at the top, and you have attachment points on both sides. If you're not using the cargo net, you can go ahead, zip it up, and then if you are going to use the third row seats, if your GX has a third row, keep in mind there are a couple of different seating configurations. Third row with a bench seat, maximum seating 7. Third row with captain's chairs, seating for 6. And then if you go to the Overtrail builds, you're going to have seating for 5. 2 in the front, 3 in the bench seat, no third row. If you would like to use the third row seats and you have the luggage cover, make sure to remove it. So right now, here it is, not installed. There are 2 spots in the back if you want to install the luggage cover. If you're like me, you probably have to crawl inside to do it. So let's move this away because I do want to show you what the new power third row looks like. If your GX does have a third row, one of my favorite details is that you can leave the cargo net in place. So you don't have to haul all of this out of the vehicle just to put the third row in place if it's something that you don't use very often. GXs with the premium package come with a manually operated third row. There are optional power operated third row seats. That's what we're seeing here. So the buttons are on the right hand side on the GX. So you just take a look. L for left, R for right, and really simple, push up to raise it up. You'll hear beeps. If you let the button go, you're going to hear a long sustained alarm. So if you just press it again, you can complete that process. So if you have operated your third row and then later you hear this long beeping going on in your vehicle, it just means you didn't get the seat all the way up or all the way down. So just make sure to hop back there, check those buttons, push the button until you've got it into place. So now let's go ahead and raise up that right side seat. So you do need to hold the button the entire time. And then we need to put our headrests in place. So just reach up, lift up, and lock them into place. When you're ready to put the seat down, you can just press the button. If you'd like to keep the seats up but lower the headrests for better visibility, you can go ahead and just pull the strapping here, lift up. It releases the catch for the headrest, and you can fold the headrest down. So if you have your headrest up in place and you fold the seat with the power button, one press will move the seat to its most upright position. So it just gives you a little bit more cargo space. Push again, and the headrest will fold automatically. Just keep holding until the folding is complete and those seats are nice and flat and you have loads of cargo space. So just remember, you're going to press, it's going to adjust a little bit, and then you'll need to press again and hold to move the seat flat. If you are driving your GX very frequently with the third row stowed flat, so no third row cabin passengers, I recommend that you also stow the third row seat belts just up and out of the way. It keeps them nice and quiet. You can do this on both sides of the vehicle. You'll raise the seat belt clip up high and then slide the strap into place and the belt clip into place. It just helps to keep things from rattling around so that the GX is nice and quiet, whether you are on the road or off the road. You may also see a 120 volt outlet on the right-hand side in the rear cargo area. Just lift up, make sure the vehicle is on to power that outlet, and close the cap when you're all done. For the second row seats, you can recline and tilt forward and tumble forward, all with this lever. So if you want to recline the seat, just lift the lever and press the seat back. If you want to tumble the seat forward, lift the lever up and then press down on the shoulder of the seat and tumble into place. Then you have easy access to the third row or your giant cargo area if you've folded that third row flat, or if you're in the Overtrail version and you don't have a third row and you've kitted up the back and you're ready to go overlanding. When you check out the third row, you'll see USB-C ports on either side, as well as cup holders for third row cabin passengers. And if you have the optional power third row, you'll see buttons to operate those third row seats just inside the right side of the vehicle, right behind that right side passenger. And they operate in the exact same way as they do at the rear of the vehicle. Now take a look at this. If you have third row cabin passengers and they need to tumble the seats forward, they can do that with this lever. Nice and simple. When it's time to put the seats back down into position, you're going to be clamping these feet into the floor. And there are these large metal brackets. So make sure this area is clear. Make sure if you have rear cabin passengers, their feet are out of the way, and then press down. You do have to press pretty hard because you do want it to clamp into place. Then raise up your seat back and lift the lever and press the seat back into the recline position that you prefer. If the seat armrest has moved up, just tilt it back down into position and your second cabin passengers are ready to go. This is going to be a very similar process on the bench seat third row, and you have controls on either side. On GXs with the 7 and 6 seat configurations, you'll have 6 USB-C ports, 2 at the front, 2 located in the second row for charging only, and 2 in the third row for charging. In the second row, just above these USB-C ports, you'll see controls for rear climate control. Keep in mind that the setup for rear cabin climate is going to be different depending on the package that you have. You may see outboard heated second row seats. You may not. Don't worry. Just look at the buttons and they'll tell you what to do. On the backs of the second row seats, whether you have the bench seat configuration or captain's chairs, and on the back of the right third row seat, if you have a third row, you'll see top tethers for car seats or child safety seats. Second row outboard seats also have latch. You can locate the lower anchors underneath this Velcroed piece and just follow the instructions on your child safety seat for installation. When you're all set with that, you can go ahead and cover that piece back up just to keep it nice and tidy. Let's take a look at the front cabin, but before we do, let's go ahead and set up our Lexus driver profile. When you first get in a vehicle with Lexus interface, you are probably going to see this welcome screen. Select your language from the list available on screen. And then it's going to tell you that you need to activate connected features with the Lexus app. You can scan the QR code to download the Lexus app, or just download the app from the App Store on iPhones or the Play Store on Android phones. Open the Lexus app on your phone. Go ahead and choose Keep Me Signed In. If you have a Lexus account or a Toyota account, go ahead and choose Sign In. If you've never had a Lexus or Toyota driver account before, choose Register, and then Continue to Registration. Rather than signing in with social media platforms, go ahead and create your new account from scratch. You'll enter your name, mobile number, email address, and create a password. This is the most efficient way to sign in and make sure that you can receive the necessary authorization codes. It's always a great idea to make sure that you get an authorization code for your email address and for your mobile number. What you see next on your Lexus app screen will vary depending on whether or not you already have a vehicle in your Lexus app garage. If you don't have a vehicle in your Lexus app garage, you're going to select Add Vehicle. And you can scan the VIN from the vehicle identification information inside the driver's door on the window sticker, or you can also choose to enter the VIN manually. Then choose Add Vehicle. You're going to see a prompt that tells you to scan the QR code or connect by code. Do the next steps on your vehicle's main screen. Click Continue. So we can see that we have a code on the vehicle screen. So we are going to connect by code. This means we need to type in the numbers that we see on the vehicle screen onto the phone screen. The code does expire, so just make sure to enter that code when prompted. We'll click Save Changes, and now we're able to register our connected services trials. You can look at each item that's compatible with your vehicle and then click Continue. And now we need to accept the terms for the master data consent. That's going to allow the connected services to operate. If you scroll down, you'll see the information to set up and connect Wi-Fi. That's the hotspot on the vehicle. It is not required for you to activate the hotspot. So if you don't have passengers that are going to be using your vehicle's hotspot to operate their devices, you can just click Maybe Later and then Confirm. Check to see if there are any other items to accept, and if not, click Confirm and Continue. Congratulations, let's finish setup. Now we finished the app setup on the phone, let's finish setting up the vehicle. We'll click App Setup Finished. We have a welcome message on screen, and we're asked, would you like to pair for Bluetooth? Yes. Now that means I need to open Bluetooth on my phone. So locate the Bluetooth menu in the settings for your smartphone. You can click Search for Devices if your phone doesn't appear right away. And then you can choose your phone from the vehicle screen or the vehicle from the phone screen. Now we're going to click on things on the phone and the car, everything in the affirmative. Pair on the phone, OK on the car, allow for favorites and call history. And we'll just wait for prompts. Yes, we want to connect for Apple CarPlay. We are going to need to get Apple CarPlay permissions to come up on the phone as well. Use CarPlay, and we have one more CarPlay prompt, allow. When you allow for the apps to mirror from the phone to the vehicle screen, then your CarPlay is all set up. For Android phones, you'll go to Connections or Connected Devices and locate your Bluetooth settings menu. Then follow the steps to pair your phone for Bluetooth and Android Auto. Another important item to set up is your Lexus security PIN. It's a 6-digit PIN that periodically will pop up on the vehicle screen. If you've never had a PIN associated with your Lexus app, the app setup process is going to ask you to create a PIN. But if you're not prompted to make a PIN, that means your Lexus driver profile has actually had a PIN set up in the past. You can change that at any time. Go ahead and click on the profile icon on the top right corner of your app screen. Then select Account and open Security Settings. Once you're in Security Settings, you'll be able to select Set or Reset PIN. The app is going to ask you to sign back in to verify your identity. Just choose Confirm and follow the sign-in process. If you've allowed Face ID to sign you in, you'll be signed in automatically. If not, enter your email and password for your Lexus account. Then choose your new PIN. It can be a very simple PIN, and if it is, you're going to get a warning letting you know that you have a weak PIN, it's easy to guess, and you might want to change it. That's completely up to you. You will be asked to confirm the PIN, so just enter it a second time to make sure that it's been entered correctly. So I'm making a very simple PIN just so you all can see this as an example. Now that we have the important Lexus driver profile details all set up, let's explore the rest of the vehicle. So let's take a look at our auto folding mirror feature. It does need to be turned on. So we want to see a little green light by the word auto. You can power fold your mirrors in. Instead of pressing the power fold button to open them, press the auto fold button. It will open them up and turn the auto mode on so that when you lock your GX, your mirrors will fold in and all the doors will lock. To the left of the steering wheel, you'll see your odometer, trip meter button. You can also increase or decrease the brightness of the gauges on your instrument panel. This is actually not a button, just letting you know what you're adjusting. The lights for your instrument gauge. Just below, you have your driver position memory buttons. Adjust your seat, steering wheel, and side mirrors. Then press set, and then your number, and then your new driving position will be memorized. If you'd like to recall your seat position, just push your number and your seat, steering wheel, and side mirrors will adjust. If your GX has the optional head-up display, that position is also saved to your driver position memory settings. Coming down just below, here's the button that we were talking about before. You can turn off your parking support brake, PKSB. So if the system is alerting you and parking support brake is turned on, it's going to also apply the brake if you don't come to a full stop. So if you need to have the alerts, but you don't want the vehicle to do the stopping for you, make sure to disable that feature just by pressing the button. You'll even see the message right on your display letting you know that your parking support brake has been turned off. You'll also see the general indicator about a safety feature that's been turned off in orange. So there are a variety of different safety features that when they are turned off, that orange icon lights up. So when you turn them back on, that orange icon will turn off. You'll also have a button to operate the power back door. If you press the button and the door does not operate, it may give you a message that the doors are locked. So just go ahead, unlock the vehicle, and then press to power open. You do need to push and hold until you hear the beep. If you'd like to use that 120 volt outlet, the vehicle needs to be on, and you're going to press the button that says AC 120V, and that's going to allow that 120 volt outlet to have power. If you're not using it, just press to turn it off. Taking a look in and around the steering wheel, I like to leave the headlights selected to auto so that they can come on automatically when it begins to get dark and then turn off automatically when it's light. But you can manually turn your headlights on by twisting the selector all the way to the top, come down one for daytime running lights or parking lights, coming down again to auto, and twist all the way to the bottom and you'll turn everything off. It says DRL off, meaning daytime running lights off, but in this case, everything is off. If you turn your headlights on manually, you will need to turn them all the way off or to auto so that the headlights will turn off after you've exited and locked the vehicle. This next selector is for fog lights. Just twist up, and when your low beams are on, your fog light will also come on. When this selector is set to off, that means your fog lights will not come on. We also have automatic high beams. Just push a button on the end of the stalk and you'll see a light come on for the automatic high beams. And I always want to make sure that you know how to operate the rain sensing windshield wipers. So if you bring them up to the top, it's going to do one swipe for mist and then come to the off position. Just come down one click, you're in the auto mode, and then you can adjust the sensitivity of the wipers on the dial. You'll operate the rear wiper off, intermittent, or on. And then on the right-hand side, you have operation for two types of cruise control: the adaptive cruise, where you can adjust your following distance, and traditional cruise, where you would not use following distance, you would just set speed only. We can go into a lot more detail about how to operate cruise control in our deep dive, so make sure to check that out if you need more help with cruise control. On the left-hand side of the steering wheel, you have the operation for your large 12.3-inch customizable multi-information display. That it says a lot because it does a lot. Your entire display on your dash is laid out in 3 different sections, and it all is operated with the arrow buttons, the go back button, and the OK button. So if you start by just pressing any of the arrows, you're going to see the message hold OK to customize with the left or right arrow. So we are on screen 1, now we're on screen 2, and arrow to the right again, and we're on screen 3. So what I need you to know is that each screen has 3 sections. So you have 3 screens, 3 sections, they are all customizable. Just hold OK. You will be in the customized mode. It will default you to the center section, and you can choose an item that you would like to have in that section. Then arrow to the left or to the right, and items available on the left side and right side are identical. So whatever you see arrowing up or down, toggling through the available views or features, anything in this list is going to be the same on the left or the right and on any page. So just toggle through until you pick something that you would like to have, including a blank screen. And then when you have what you want, just toggle over to the other side, pick something there. And then when you want to customize your next screen, push the go back button to exit customization, and then start customizing again by selecting the next page. So you can move through to view or push and hold OK to customize. Also, on the lower left-hand side, you have volume for phone and audio, plus or minus to increase or decrease, and you have a voice command button. Keep in mind that the new Lexus interface system vehicles have 2 voice assistants. You have the Lexus Assistant and your phone's assistant, either Siri or Google, depending on your phone and how your phone is set up and connected to the vehicle. So if you would prefer to use the button rather than the wake phrase, you can push and release to access the Lexus Assistant for things like navigation. You can also operate things like climate control and the audio system. You can just push and release, set the temperature to 68 degrees.
Setting the driver's temperature to 68 degrees.
We could also just simply say, "Hey Lexus," and we access our assistant. And now push and hold to access your phone's assistant. In this case, we're operating with an iPhone, so we will access Siri. Push and hold. You'll see the Siri listening tones on screen. We could also just simply say, "Hey Siri, how's the weather today?"
Looks like it will be partly cloudy today.
So use the voice command button on the steering wheel or use the wake phrase to wake up the assistant that you would like to help you. When you have an iPhone connected to the vehicle, the very first icon that you'll see at the top of the Lexus menu is the shortcut back to your Apple CarPlay. Notice that with an iPhone now, you can allow the Lexus menu bar to remain visible and have Apple CarPlay open on the remainder of the screen. This is a great new feature. You can click to expand to full screen if you prefer, but it does hide that Lexus menu bar. Keep in mind that right now this is only a feature on iPhones. If you have an Android phone, you'll see the Android Auto icon there. So if you have an Android phone, make sure you know that to get back to your Lexus menu bar, you will need to click on the Lexus icon, and that will relaunch your Lexus menu on the left-hand side for Android. Let's come down our Lexus menu bar. Clicking on the arrow for navigation is going to open your Lexus navigation system. This is our Drive Connect cloud-based navigation. It uses Google Points of Interest. You'll have a complimentary 3-year trial period for Drive Connect. And when you set up your Lexus driver profile, you'll see the maps appear on this Drive Connect screen. So if you are still seeing this view where it says Get Started, it just means that you haven't activated your subscription yet. Clicking on the music notes to launch our Lexus audio system. If you see this screen, giant white screen, and it says enable audio, don't panic. It just means you need to turn your radio on. You can either click enable audio or just use your power and volume dial. Take note, there is no tuner dial. So when you do turn on your radio, you want to use either tune and then select FM, AM, or SiriusXM. Then choose your numbers for your station. Click tune to station. Click the heart to save it as a favorite. Click edit. Grab the handlebars, and then you can rearrange your radio favorites. Click Done Editing whenever you're finished. Select Radio to go back, and now you'll see your radio favorites in the tile view. You can also tune by choosing your radio source. So you can come to FM, same with AM, so you can go through any stations that are available. And SiriusXM allows you to choose music genres, sports, news, talk. You can look at all channels and even your listening history. If you need to know how to find your SiriusXM radio ID, come to Tune, select SiriusXM, type the number 0, and your radio ID will appear on screen. One important detail, this is not possible to do while you're talking on the phone. You will not be able to see your radio ID, so just make sure you're not on the phone, or come to Settings, Sound and Media, SiriusXM, Help and Support, Radio ID. Then you can do that on the phone. Selecting the phone icon is going to open the phone in whatever way you have your phone connected to the vehicle. So Apple CarPlay for an iPhone, you'll see this style of phone operation. Coming down to the vehicle icon, and we have all kinds of vehicle feature details. You can do a shortcut to your driving assist features. Just click to turn something off or on. Select vehicle to come back. We have trip information, off-roading information. This is very cool. When you change drive modes, it's actually going to show you some information here. Pitch and yaw are going to be accessed over on that right-hand side. So a lot of great new visual detail here. And tire pressure, very popular. I do love that it includes the spare tire information right at the bottom. Vehicle alerts are going to be service related or low fuel warnings. You may see additional features in your vehicle list depending on the equipment that you have. Did you know that this vehicle can even have front seat massage? Yes, it can. Oh my goodness, I think I would need that version. That feature would also be visible in your vehicle features list. Selecting the gear to come to settings. When you have your profile connected to the vehicle, you're going to see your name here. Any profiles that have been saved will be on the right-hand side. And under personal info, you'll be able to link a key, set up your Face ID, you name it. Bluetooth and devices, this is where you can add a device. You can also forget a device or change your device connection from either Apple CarPlay just to Bluetooth for phone or Bluetooth for phone and media. Coming back to settings, there are loads of settings. So make sure that when you come back for our deep dive video, that you are ready, because we're going to go through every single one of them and teach you all about it. So let's go ahead and come down to our lower console. We have our drive mode selector. You'll just turn the dial to adjust your drive mode, and you'll see indications for the drive mode change on your multi-information display or your main display, depending on the screen that you have open. Your cup holders can be covered up if you prefer. Just press to open. And your wireless charging pad, this is optional. It is right here. Putting the phone in, just let it lay down flat. It does need to touch the back of the phone, but you'll see the light change from green to amber when it's charging. And then your center differential lock button. So when you press that, you're operating with a 50-50 power split. This really is for off-roading. And if you're going to go off-roading, you are going to want to change from high 4, which is what we normally drive in, to low 4. And if you want to learn more about that, please come back to our deep dive tutorial series. Taking a look at the buttons and controls up on the ceiling, you do have touch operated personal lights and the operation for your dome lights. Very importantly, if you press, you can turn them on or off, but you want to have door mode turned on if you would like the lights to come on when you open a door and turn off when you close it. You'll see operation for the moonroof to open, close, and tilt up or down the back portion of the glass. Most importantly, behind this little door is your SOS button. You do have a complimentary 10-year trial period for Safety Connect. Safety Connect will put you in touch with an emergency operator if you have a roadside or medical emergency, but you do want to open the door before you press the button. Now, if the vehicle is in an accident, if it's a severe rear end collision or an airbag is deployed, they will contact you without you having to press that button. Thank you all so much for stopping by the Lexus Virtual Classroom today. Make sure to tune in to our deep dive series. I will go into even more detail about every button, bell, and whistle on your brand new GX550. Thanks again for stopping by. We'll see you next time.